Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the next base guide run. We are going to be doing the Trumbull Valley. We're going to start out by doing Checkpoint Delta, and we will also look at the landmark outpost Ecolab Research Station. Because this base is so small, I figured we'd knock out 2 in 1. So let's not waste time getting to it. The location of the base is kinda not great. There's not a ton to loot in the immediate area. All the primary cities are fairly far away and are extremely dense. Not a good area to start. The layout of the base, you can only build 2. You get the military cots, which is broken when you move in, so you have to fix them, and they give you 4 beds. They do have a slot where I put a white noise machine to try and help with morale a little bit. Regular command center, and then it has a storage. Yes, I did upgrade it all the way. It doesn't come that way. It's just a basic storage. You do get 4 parking slots. Not that that's going to do anything for you in the beginning of the game, but it's something, I guess. Then you get 2 small buildables that you can use. This is my typical setup when I start a playthrough on Lethal Zone, which I will be doing here shortly, so be watching out for those videos. Hint, hint, subscribe so that you can see when that playthrough goes live. But I run the fighting gym to get my health with the free weights. Adds a little bit of extra health. I don't upgrade it, don't want the material cost. And then an infirmary for obvious reasons. Usually I like the biochem station here, but as you will find out shortly, that is unnecessary, so I threw a comfy chair I had in just because I had it, and morale is awesome. Again, I don't go to level 3 unless I'm trying to make strong painkillers or something. I don't want the material cost. But, yeah, that's the basics of this base. As far as fortifications, it's not terribly sparse. I mean, it's kind of difficult to get into. I think there's only really 2 ways to get into it, and you do have a tower up there that you can climb up on to see at least that whole side, and probably some of the front. Defending it is not terribly bad, but this base, let's be honest, we all know it sucks. It's very, very difficult to get out of in Lethal Zone, and pretty much your first thing that you should be doing is trying to find a way out. It does not matter where you go, anything is better than this. I would gladly survive in a porta-john before I tried to survive in this. But now I will jump cut because we are going to go to the research station now that we have decided that place is complete and total garbo. So see you in a minute. Alright. And here we are at the research lab. This is, as I said, the landmark outpost. It is either the strongest or the most pointless thing in this map, depending on if you have a biochem station or not. I've already obviously claimed it, as I knew I was going to be reviewing it. It's just up top left corner of the map. There is usually, I do believe on Lethal, it tends to be covered up by 2 to 3 plague hearts. This is standard, so it was just covered by 1, but just be warned that there is typically at least 2 covering it up. Now, for the benefits, you have 3 to choose from. You have biochem crafting, which is what I selected. It allows you to craft the scent block, bloater gas, zombie, all that kind of stuff. Pretty simple. It is the stereotypical way to go. Now, if you already have a biochem station, you can use it for serum production. With this strategy, we can craft experimental plague-derived serums that temporarily boost health or stamina. The only minor plague with only minor plague infection as a side effect. Since these unstable serums aren't portable, we can only make and use them here. Essentially, that will just boost your health or stamina for a small window of time. I can't remember the amount of time. I've never really bothered with it, especially stamina. I don't typically need the stamina, and as for health, that's why we have a fighting gym. It gives us the health. I would much rather have the biochems to essentially annihilate the game. Then you have specimen incubation. With this strategy, we give ourselves the ability to use chemicals and meds to multiply our supply of plague samples, which is perfect if we need extra plague cure. We can also use plague samples to craft a small amount of meds. So this is exactly as it sounds. You can either take plague samples you already have, combined with chemicals and medicine, to make more plague samples, or you can use plague samples to create meds. We can go through and just look at these real quick. It is 30 minutes on standard zone. I would imagine that would be less. I'm going to say it's probably 15 or 20 minutes on lethal. I'd be shocked if they left it the same. Health is plus 30 max health and plus 5% plague infection for 30 minutes. And stamina is 30 stamina and 5% infection as well. The health costs 3 samples and a snack and some parts. And the stamina costs 3 samples of coffee and some parts. I would imagine that will double on lethal as well. So 6 and 6, 2 and 2, and 30 at minimum to do all of that. And then for the specimen incubation, like I said, you can multiply plague samples. So you will get 9 out of this. It will cost you 2 chemicals, 1 plague sample, 1 medicine, and it will take 3 minutes and 20 seconds. That will create 9 samples. So, I mean, it's not terrible if you need the samples. So if you had a biochem station and you were early game, but you wanted to start wrecking plague hearts, i.e., bloater gas, scent block, whatever your choice is. If you bring a sample here, you've got a little chemical, you've got a little medicine, you can get enough to craft a batch at least, and maybe a cure. That way you're not as vulnerable while you're trying to beat up the plague hearts to get out of that stupid checkpoint. God, I hate that place. And you can also recycle bio waste, so it will cost 1 chemical, 1 ethanol, 5 plague samples, and will take 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and you will get 2 medicine. That's not terrible. There is a bonus you can gather if you have pathology. That will probably bring the plague samples down to 2 or 3. That's not terrible, but I wouldn't bother with it, to be quite honest. You can find meds fairly easily. I've never had much issue finding them. So if you went this strategy, it'd be because you have a biochem station already. You imported characters in that already had one, and you just wanted to start getting plague samples very quickly. Or if you were producing bulk boxes of plague cure to sell for the influence, that also would work for this. That being said, most people aren't going to jump into this area with a biochem station. I will, so we'll get to test out this specimen incubation. We'll use it a little bit to see what the yield actually works as, but I would stick with this. Overall, with this landmark outpost, it is probably the best in the game if you don't have a biochem station. If you do, it's pretty mid, to be real. It's not super useful if you already have a biochem, because you already have the most powerful add-on in the game. You can destroy everything with it. Yes, it can boost your plague sample production, but if you're bringing in a biochem station, chances are you're probably going to have a bunch of plague cures anyways. Or not plague cures, plague samples. Probably plague cures as well. But that is my humble opinion of the terrible checkpoint. Alpha or beta or theta, it doesn't really matter. The terrible checkpoint. And the not so terrible Echo Labs. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We will be back. I believe we will go from there to, what is the 4-man base? I can't even remember. Pterodactyl Park, that is correct. We will be going to Pterodactyl Park. Then we will go to Red Talon, where we will also do the quest to get the demolitions expert. Then we will go to Tranquility. Then we will hit Fort Marshall. Although it is the 8-man base, we're going to hit it before the end. Then when we finish Fort Marshall, then we'll go to the true end-game base, the farm. And it looks like we have some buttheads there. So we're going to hope that those zombies kill them. But anyways, aside from all of that, as I was saying before I got off on the tangent as well, I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed it. Leave me comments if there's anything that I left unanswered that you want to know specifically. Any ideas for videos, what map you want me to do when I finish this one. Just leave any general comment you have. I appreciate all of your time. I'm the ADHD Gamer, and I will see y'all in the next episode.